Hey class, welcome back. We are going to take a look at lesson 2, angles and relationships today. So let's get some definitions out of the way. First, we have parallel lines. Parallel lines never cross each other. They are always just traveling beside each other. And then we have transversal line. It's this guy here. Transversal means that it intersects a set of parallel lines. So a line that crosses a set of parallel line. Set of parallel lines. Lastly, we have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are two lines that cross to form a 90-degree angle. And so remember, going back to yesterday's class, 90 degrees means it's forming a right angle. And we indicate that with a square. All right, we've got some angle relationships here. First of all, we're going to talk about vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles are the same. So in this situation, if angle A was 90 degrees, angle B would also be 90 degrees. Now we can have this scenario be on a set of parallel lines as well. Same thing, vertically opposite angles are the same when they are across each other. So these guys are still vertically opposite from each other. So if A was 30 degrees, then B would also be 30 degrees. They would be considered equal. Let's move on to corresponding angles. Corresponding angles, and mind you, I am working on all of these angle relationships on parallel lines. So corresponding angles on parallel lines are also the same. Now, this one is usually a hard one for students to understand, or sorry, to visualize or to identify. And so the way I say it is if you were to draw an L shape around your angle, it would be the same. So A and B would be the same angle. Let's say if this one was 25 degrees, then this one also would be 25 degrees because they are, again, the same. Now we're getting into a different territory here when we are saying supplementary. Remember that when you have supplementary angles, it is the same as the definition we learned yesterday. These two angles added together should equal 180. So if this angle is 120, if this angle is 120, then B, to find B, I would take 180 minus 120, and that would give me 60 degrees. So then together, A is 120 plus B is 60. These two will equal 180. All right, let's keep going. Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. So when we're talking about interior, it's two angles inside parallel lines that are on opposite sides of the transversal. Remember, transversal is this line here that is crossing both the parallel lines. So this is A and B would be equal. So if this was 75 degrees, then this would be 75 degrees. All right, moving on. Alternate exterior, so these are now on the outside. So notice how these is on the outside and the interior ones were on the inside. These guys are outside and they're on the opposite side of the transversal. Remember, the transversal again is this line here. They're on the exterior, we have our A, and they are on opposite sides. These two are equal. So let's say if this was 30 degrees, this also would be 30 degrees. All right, let's move into some more scenarios. Co-interior, are two angles inside a parallel line that are on the same side of the transversal. So this is different from our alternate. Alternate means that they're on opposite sides. Co means that they're on the same side. So this is my transversal, my A and my B are on the same side. Now these two angles add to 180. So let's say my A angle was 130. To find my B, I would take 180 and subtract 130, which would give me 50. So if I add angle A plus angle B together, I should get 180. So angle B, 180. So let's double check this. I take my 130, add 50, and I end up with 180. The last angle relationship is we have co-exterior. So this is different from our alternate exterior angle. So these are two angles on the outside, but they are on the same side. So same thing, these would add to 180. So there's my transversal. Let's say, for example, that this was 70 degrees. To find B, I would take 180, because we have that rule of 180, minus 70, and angle B would be equal to 110 degrees. So we have angle A plus angle B should equal 180. So let's test that. 70 plus 110, ooh, that's too many zeros, is equal to 180. Okay, so let's now apply this knowledge here. So we're looking at this diagram right here for example 1, and we're going to look at some angle relationships. First thing I like to do is it says the angle relationship between A and G. So I'm going to circle A and G. Then I'm going to go to my notes and I'm going to look at which relationship makes the most sense. So I'm going to go all the way over here. Oh, look, these look like co-exterior angles because they're both on the outside and they're both on the same side of that transverse line. So the relationship for this, I'm going to say, is co-exterior angles. Co-exterior angles. Okay, let's clear our paper. The next one is C and E. So I'm going to go back here and I see C and E. C and E look like co-interior angles. So I'm going to label this here. The angle relationship is co-interior. Co-interior angles. Okay, the next one is B and D. So we're going to go and see which one does this seem most similar to. And I'm going to say supplementary because the angles are beside each other and they're divided by a line. The angles are beside each other and they're divided by a line, so I'm going to say that these are supplementary. All right, the next one, let's clear our paper again. We have A and H. Okay, so now A and H, they're exteriors, so I'm going to look at my exterior and I'm going to decide, is it co-exterior or alternate? Because they're on different sides, I'm going to say that it's alternate. So this is alternate exterior. All right, I'm going to have you guys do the next 4 on your own. When you're done, you can unpause the video to check. All right, there are answers. If you need longer, you can pause the video and check your answers. Let's move on to example 2. We have to determine if these lines are parallel. So the first step to this is you're going to decide what relationship is happening. So I have two angles on the exterior. So these are going to be alternating co-exterior. Now, if the lines are parallel, the two outside parallel lines are opposite of the transverse should be equal. These guys are not equal. So I'm going to say that the line is not parallel Okay, for the next two, these two, we got to look at their relationship. Okay, so the relationship, I would say that they are co-interior. For them to be co-interior, the two angles need to add up to 180. So I'm going to check. 70 plus 110 is equal to 180. So I'm going to say this line, oh man, these lines are parallel because they add to 180. Okay, I have one for you to try on your own. You're going to tell me if these two lines are perpendicular. You can pause when you're ready. All right, for these two lines to be perpendicular, the lines need to add up to 90 degrees. So I would say no, because angle is not equal to 90 degrees. All right, next one. We're going to find example 4, determine the measure of x and y. So first need to look at the relationship between these two angles. I'm going to go find that relationship. So let's see. And I would say that the relationship is corresponding because we have one on the outside, one in the interior, and they're both on the same side of the transversal. Corresponding angles are the same. So that means if this angle is 115, then x is also equal to 150 degrees. The reason is because they are both corresponding angles. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to now look at the next relationship. So for this one, x and 15, I notice that again, they're corresponding angles. So they're corresponding angles, x is equal to 115 as well. Reason, corresponding angles. Okay, moving to the next line. We have this as our transversal, and we want to look at the relationship between y and 38. So let's go and find the relationship between y and 38. I would say that they're alternating interior angles because they're both on the inside, but they're both on different sides. So if they are alternating interior, this would be 38 degrees, and the reason would be alternating interior. All right, let's keep going. It's your turn, so I'm going to pause and then give you a moment, and you guys can then unpause and check your answers when you're ready. All right, here are our answers. For the first one, these are co-exterior angles. And so I would take my given angle and subtract it from 180, which gives me 62 degrees. My reason, co-interior. The next one, we have alternate interior angles, which is this guy here, and these guys would be equal. The last one here, I have co-interior angles. And to find my missing angle, I would take 180 minus 91, which would give me 89. All right, last little bit for today. We have intersecting lines that cross each other. So determine the measure of all angles. So I like to first put what is known, 45. We know that whatever is vertically across is going to be the same. So if 4 is 45, then 2 is also 45. Sorry, 45, 45. Okay. Angle 1, let's focus strictly with the given. So angle 1 and angle 2 are considered supplementary. So to find angle 1, I would go 180 minus 45 because supplementary angles together will add up to 180. So 180 minus 45 is equal to 135. So angle 1 is 135. Now focusing on 135 and 3, these are vertically opposite, so they are equal. So this is also 135. All right, one more together. So if angle 3 is 83, that means angle 1 is also 83 because they're vertically across each other. Now let's focus on 2 and 3. Their relationship is supplementary. Okay, supplementary means that they're together. Supplementary, to find supplementary angles, you're going to take 180, and minus 83. So 180 minus 83 is going to give me 97 degrees. So angle 2 would be 97 degrees. So if this is 97 degrees, vertically across is also 97 degrees. All right, it's your turn. When you guys are ready, unpause the video to check your answer. All right, and there's your answer for the problem. You can pause longer if you would like to take some time to analyze it.